I live on the second floor. I live upstairs from you. Yes, I think you've seen me before. If you hear something late at night, some kind of trouble, some kind of fight, just don't ask me what it was. Just don't ask me what it was. Just don't ask me what it was. They only hit until you cry. After that, you don't ask why. Hello. We have sound. How you all doing, folks? Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. It's time for another lesson with cams. So, as I left you, so I find you. With guitar in hand, nicely tuned. Hello, Dave Hall, my top fan. Good to see you, my friend. So we finished with the G chord. Let me just switch cameras and we will turn around and have our lesson. So, Sony Cam. Let's have some lights, shall we? And let's bring up the correct browser page. We are good. Lighting. Boom. Boom. Okay, so before we launch into today's chord, which is going to be E minor, I would like to go over the transition that we did yesterday from D to G. And the reason I want to do that is because there's a certain technique that I didn't mention and I should have mentioned, and it is this. So that's our D chord. Remember, we're making a triangle, and over here we're playing XXO 2 3 2. So we've got our triangle here. When we switch from the D to the G, this ring finger can stay exactly where it is. And if you want to ease the transition even further, you can place your pinky first on fret 3 of the first string. It gives you a kind of anchor point. Then you can place your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string and your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So let me just demonstrate that. So we're going from the D, pinky down, fingers move. And the other thing to be aware of is that when we're playing the D chord, the root note is the open D string, so it's the 4th string. So that's the pattern. When we switch to the G, the root note is going to be on the low E string, which is the G note, or the 6th string. And then when you move back to the D again, once again keep that ring finger exactly where it is, and that's going to give your other fingers a point of reference, and it will help you to find the triangle shape that makes the D chord. I hope that makes sense. And what's happening there naturally is that when I'm going from the D to the G, I'm actually placing my pinky down a little prematurely, because to keep the rhythm going, you have to have that G down, because that's your 1 of the tempo. So you're 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's the most important beat in the bar. So you can't miss that one out. So hear how that transition happens. When we're transitioning from the G back to the D, because the root note in the D chord is an open string, that gives us time to get to the D chord. So we've got time to move our fingers there, which we don't have when we're going from the D to the G. So from the G to the D, we've got this. See how my pinky's still down there? Because I've got time to let that open string ring before I place my fingers down. It's just a timing thing, and don't overthink it. That's the thing. It's something that will come naturally to you. But the thing to concentrate on that will take a bit of thought power is think about that ring finger, keeping it down all the time when you're transitioning between those two chords. So it gives your other fingers a point of reference. To move to the E minor chord, which I will bring up on the screen for you, with that button. Let me just check. What's OBS showing you now? Yes, okay. So we're using fingers 2 and 3, which is the two middle ones, the middle and the ring. And we are playing an open E on the bottom, and then our middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and our ring finger is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And for the E minor chord, every string gets played. And I'd just like to touch on something here which is a little bit theory based, but this is something that was never explained to me because I didn't have a teacher. I learned from books, and in books you get chord shapes and you get songs, which is fun. But I never got this information until I worked it out myself later on. And it held me back quite a lot. Now, we did speak about this a little bit with the G chord yesterday when we spoke about 1s, 3s and 5s. If you recall, I was explaining to you the difference between the 3-finger G, which is what you'll find in most chord books, and the 4-finger G, which is my preferred chord. And the difference was between that note there with the ring finger, or the open string. So it's an open B in the 3-finger. So in a G chord, it's G, A, B. So that's the 3, C, D. Which is the 5. So we're choosing to play the 5 note rather than the 3. So in this E minor chord, I would just like to go through what the numbers are. The numbers and the notes. It's the numbers that matter. Actually, they both matter. Let's not be about the bush with that. So you've got 2 E's, you've got a low E and you've got a high E, so that's 2 1s, right? So if we play the 2nd fret of the A string, what do we get? That's a B. So if we go up E, F, G, A, B, that's our 5, right? 2nd fret of the 4th string, which is the, remember, Eddie 8 Dynamite. So we're on the D string, D, D sharp, E. So we've got E, 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 3 1s. The rest are open, so these are straightforward enough. G string, B string, E string. So we've got the 1, the B, remember, E, F, G, A, B, that's the 5. And what do you think the G is going to be? That's the 3. But actually, because of the way that the scales work, which we won't go into today, we're actually playing a flat third there, which makes it a minor chord. So it's 1, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, 1, which makes it an E minor chord. Okay, so that explains a wee bit of the theory. Sorry for going on a bit, it was a bit long-winded, but it's worthwhile bearing in mind or working out for yourselves what the sequence of numbers is in the chord that you're playing. And then we can take it further and we can work out what the notes are as well. We'll go into some theory perhaps at some point with scale-based theory and chord theory, but not today. So we've got our Ds and our Gs. Now you have a choice here. Let's make it simple. We'll pick the same strings that we were picking in our G chord. So it's 6, 3, 2, 1, and then back again. So in fact, look what you can do. Because in the E minor chord all of those notes are open strings, we don't even have to fret any notes. So we can go from the G so perhaps let's not do that, let's pick some fretted notes instead. So we'll change from strings 6, 3, 2, 1. So we're having to move our thumb there, or yeah, I think we will do that. We'll move our thumb because I like to use the thumb where possible on at least those two strings, the 6 and the 5, which is a lesson for another time when we get into some alternating bass kind of stuff. So I'm jumping to the A there, that's for tomorrow. So it's adding a little bit of complexity and a different sound. So we're going to move from the G. And this is something that I've started to do naturally, which is when I'm not using my pinky and when I'm not picking the top strings, I tend to use these fingers as a kind of anchor. You'll see people playing using the face of the guitar as an anchor. You'll see people using the strings. I use both, depends on what chord I'm playing. So in this instance, I'm actually picking with only 3 fingers, with my thumb, my index and my middle finger. So it's 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 6. So my thumb is moving and missing out the 5th string. That's how I'm playing the E minor there. We did a walk down, which you might have noticed when we went from the G to the E minor. If you're feeling ambitious, you can give this a go as well. And in the timing here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to switch halfway through the sets of 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if you listen to the song, you'll pick that up, but that's how the rhythm of the song works. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're moving from the G chord there, using our index finger just briefly on this passing note, or passing tone, which is the F sharp, to get us down to the E. So we're going from G, F sharp, E in the bass, and it's just a nice technique to move you from one chord to another, to have passing tones taking you as a transition. Okay, so we're going to go. Let's do that one more time. Okay, so we'll take it from the top. I'm going to start with our D chord, switch to the G, back to D, and G, and then the walk, and we'll leave it there. Tomorrow we will get to the A chord. Alright, I hope that all made sense. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know. I started up a group just before I went live today on my Facebook page. So that's the place to go if you want to chat about anything that we've been doing in these lessons. Just go into the group and put in a post, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, folks. And I will see you all again, hopefully tomorrow. Watch out for a post going up on Facebook with the link, usually an hour or so before the post goes live. Thanks again. Bye-bye.